Take advantage of the Boxing King media discount at BYD Sheffield. You can get this amazing car for £269 per month with a £269 deposit. Details in the description.
Boxing King media powered by BYD. Jamie Moore, the fight is done. Name the Inquest. Like the name?
Say that again.
See, it's been titled The Inquest. Quite an interesting name.
Oh, I didn't even notice that, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, but I like it. Yeah.
Well, at what point? Because I know Dave said to me that he left you to do the negotiations. So, what magic wand did you spin to get it done?
Well, obviously they put the feelers out. Would we be willing to take the rematch? So I said, obviously, yeah. So Dave said, can you sort of do the deal for me? So obviously, I love Dave Allen a bit. So I said, of course I will, no problem at all. So me and Frank and Eddie have been sort of bouncing back ideas. He sort of felt Eddie owed him a favour from years ago, which, you know, depending on how you feel about certain situations, you sort of would agree with him or not. Eddie was sort of like, well, I'm not too sure about that. But then we got to a compromise. We sort of met somewhere in the middle. And then Dave was happy with the deal. And obviously, it's not an easy fight. The first fight was a tough fight. We know Dave's going to come in better. 100% know Johnny's going to come in better because he's going to have improved from the experience of going through that first fight. So, in theory, we're going to get a better fight than we did the first time.
Well, what you're alluding to there, I did ask Eddie and asked Dave about it as well. You know, it was a promise that Eddie said, I'll get you a similar payday if you don't fight Dubois. And Eddie said his reasons behind it was because he was worried about Dave's safety in that fight. And I think Dave said that it's not the same money, but it's close enough.
Exactly. So, yeah, you're exactly right. And so we have to, I understand this business, you know, what you want and what you get are two different things. But Dave's happy with it, and that's all I'm bothered about. As long as he's happy, I'm happy.
Big thing I noticed with Dave, you know, he put some videos up yesterday, and he doesn't hide his gut. It's almost like he does it deliberately. He walks out with his, you know, with his gut hanging out. And I said to him, like, what's all that about? Are you doing it on purpose? But he said he's blown up to 20 stone, and he wants to get down to 18, 17, I think he said. So, what do you make of that as a trainer? Have you bollocked him for it, or are you just?
The fighters, what you got to understand is this: my job as a coach is to get the best out of my athlete. Ultimately, they employ me to do a job, yeah. And if they, what I always say to them, if you want me to get the best out of you, then you've got to give me the best version of you. Now, every fighter comes in heavy. You know, if Dave, I believe his perfect weight, performance-wise, is around about 17, 10, 17, 12. He's about 2.5 stone over that, yeah? But he's a big man. I get fighters, or I don't get fighters specifically, but you get fighters who are that much overweight at, you know, 140, 154, that type of weight. So the percentage of weight they've got to lose is much higher than it is for someone like Dave. And Kerry Kays has sat him down and he's had a good chat with him about the nutrition. He's set him out on a plan. So he's going to be in such better condition this time because his recovery is going to be better because his nutrition's better. The training, we've got much longer training camp, so we don't have to sort of rush him and try and get him fit. We can take our time more. So the whole package of it is all going to be better in terms of how we can set out. His performance should then reflect, and you know, like I said before, he was about 60% last time of where he can be. If we can get him anywhere near like 90, 95%, then he's going to be an handful.
One of the aspects that he wasn't sure about, I'm hoping you can tell me, is it 10 rounds or 12 rounds?
The contract says 10 or 12. So they're trying to get some type of title on the line, depending on the governing body and what title is available and what the specification is for the rounds for that title. I feel like it'll be a 10 rounder, but it might be a 12.
What kind of titles are we talking? Like
an international title or something like that. So the winner then will get ranked with one of the governing bodies. So depending on who he's going to be, I think it'll depend whether it's 10 or 12. But I'd say it will be a 10 rounder.
Yeah, good stuff. How confident are you that he gets the W this time compared to the first fight?
I was confident last time because I knew the work he'd put in when I'd never seen him work that hard and be in that type of shape, and he's already still in that type of shape. So I'm 100% confident in Dave Allen's ability when he applies himself like he is doing now.
Just away from Dave, what's happening with the Hamed boys? When are they out next?
Still waiting some dates. They've told Adam that it'll be out in May time, but we haven't got a date yet. Samet is out in April, they're saying, but again, I'm not sure whether that's a definite date, but they said April, so both from April and May.
You reflected back on Jack's loss. Have you watched it back, and how do you score it now that you've seen it back?
I haven't watched it back. I can't bring myself to watch it back yet because, in all honesty, I saw the press conference the other day for the Times Square show and Teofimo and Barbosa facing off, and it's a sickener. You know, it was a close fight, could have gone either way, and you know what? We had a knockdown as well, which didn't get counted, which in a close fight like that makes a big difference. But nothing you can do about it now. So I am sick for Jack, but I don't even think I'll ever watch that fight back because you know I like watching the ones back where we win and these good performances. I've watched Dave's fight back now since the rematch got made because now I have to. But I don't like watching the ones back where we come out the other side.
I'm going to get your observation on this because no one doubts Jack's skills and ability, unbelievable fighter. But the common consensus from a lot of the experts and in the comments I was reading was people are saying that he's just doing enough, he's not doing that bit extra. And I thought that's been put on him before. What would you say about that?
The way it looked to me on the night, in hindsight now, is he looked flat. And when, you know, the only thing I can put that to is he'd had 3 big camps on the trot. You know, he boxed Josh Taylor, then he boxed Prograis, and then this Barbosa straight off the back of each other. The Taylor and the Prograis camps got extended because Taylor was injured, and then Jack got injured for the Prograis fight. So both those camps was longer than they should have been, and then straight into the Barbosa fight. So I just feel like it was a bit of fatigue. He was flat. I don't think any of them performed particularly well, to be honest. I think Barbosa wasn't that great either. It was just a close fight. I was saying to Jack towards the end, you know, you need to push on now and go through the gears, and he just didn't seem to have it in him on the night. And I feel like it was just because maybe he was a bit flat from he'd had a real busy sort of 12, 14 months.
Who's next for him, do you think?
Anybody, any of the top 5, 6 in the world who are around about, any names. We won't be going sort of a 10-round just tick over fight. He wants to be straight back in there with anybody. So there's a few names bound about now, and hopefully it won't be anywhere sort of until towards the end of the year. You know, Jack's going to have a good rest, make sure he recharges his batteries first. But I guess October, November time we'll be back out.
I'm not going to speak about Cameron Vaughn because I don't want to jinx his fight. Let's just let it happen.
Yes,
let's not talk about it. Lastly, Jamie, what do you make of the news yesterday with Turkey, Dana White coming into boxing? I'll kind of lay the picture out for you. I just want to get your opinion on it. I saw Paulie Malignaggi here has had a lot to say about Dana White and saying fighters have complained about money when it comes to him. But obviously, he's built a successful empire in the UFC. And then also there's been suggestions that they're going to crush everybody else. Suggestions that they want people just to fight for the Ring magazine belt, and the other belts aren't really basically worthless. So you as a trainer, ex-fighter, what do you kind of make of it all?
Listen, in theory, from a UFC sort of point of view, everyone's been asking for that for years, saying we need boxing to be one champion. None of these organisations confusing things, the best fight the best. And then someone goes and says they're doing it, and then everyone starts complaining. Now, I thought that that's what they was going to do anyway, and I actually said 6 months ago, or might not be 6 months ago, but whenever Turkey Al-Sheikh bought the Ring magazine, I said, I feel like what he's doing is getting everybody under the same umbrella to work together, to work alongside, get all the fighters together, all the promoters together. They won't be, got rid of and tossed aside. They'll all be used the same way they are now, but under one big umbrella. And he's bought the Ring magazine because he's going to use the Ring magazine as the world title. And that's going to be the only governing body. And I still feel that's it. I just feel like he's brought Dana White in to oversee it all. Maybe communications, advice and stuff like that. And I think that's what will still happen. But time will tell. We don't know. I don't ever see people like Eddie, Frank Warren being out of the game. So if they're going to try and do their own thing and they're not going to be in it, they'll still be involved and just do their own things like they are doing now. But if the overall consensus is that everyone works together and we have one world champion, then I think it's a good thing. I just struggle to see how it'll work if not everyone's working together.
What do you make of the what he did with the belt? I don't know if you saw Canelo was about to bring in the WBC belt. He pushed it away.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the organisations, the governing bodies, the amount of money that you're forking out if you're an undisputed champion in fees. You know, I remember Jack when he fought Taylor and Chantel when she was undisputed champion. It's an absolute fortune.
Give us an example. You don't have to tell me how much they're getting paid, but am I right? It's 2 or 3%.
I think so. I think it's in between 2 and 3% depending on the organisation. So like, you know, people end up paying anything between like 1,500 grand out of the purse to the sanctioning bodies at that level of a fight, and it's insane. So
that costs about maybe a couple of £100 to make.
It's not about the belt. It's not, you know, the organisations, they're saying you're paying that to keep them going, but you know, like for what? Now I think that's what Turkey Al-Sheikh's doing, and then maybe someone like Dana White is going to oversee it and be the sort of person who says, right, this is the rankings, you know, along with the Ring magazine, whatever the top 10 is in the world, the number one fight, the number 2, they can have a voluntary defence in between. Once a year they make a mandatory defence. No, in theory it all sounds great. I'm just not sure whether it's going to work, but time will tell.
Indeed, Jamie, pleasure, mate. I think everyone's disappearing, so I don't think I missed anything out, but yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck fight night. Thank you.